there was a guy in my housing unit who was a serial killer. He was called Truck because he drove long-distance trucks from the East Coast to the West Coast. And he would pick up prostitutes at truck stops, and he would rape them and murder them, drive them a couple of 100 miles down the highway, and then dump the bodies out. So the cops estimated that he killed 14. It was probably more than that. He goes, "You CIA?" And I said, "Yeah, I used to be." He goes, "I did work for the CIA. I ran a shrimp boat full of weapons to Angola." I go, "Get the fuck out of here." I didn't know he was a serial killer. I go, "Get the fuck out of here. Shrimp boat to Angola. Have you ever been on a shrimp boat?" And I walked away. People are looking at me like, "Are you crazy? Do you know who that is?" Well, I didn't know who it was. So instead of making him mad, it just made him more actively seek my approval. Anyway, one day, Jake Tapper comes up to the prison to interview me, and I get called down to the lieutenant's office. Normally, if you're called down to the lieutenant's office, it's to go to solitary. If you come back, usually it's because you ratted somebody out. Well, I went down there to sign the waiver so I could give Jake Tapper the interview. So I'm sitting in the TV room next to Truck. Truck was very, very sensitive about being called a chomo because that girl that he strangled was 16, which technically made him a chomo. Right? So Truck's sitting here, I'm sitting here. Right here is Cat in the Hat with his back toward me. He's on the computer. There's like this internal email system. He doesn't see me. I'm sitting 18 inches away from him. And then he says to the guy next to him, "Do you hear? Kiriakou got called down to the lieutenant's office." He goes, "That guy's a fucking rat. He went down there to rat us out." And I just sat there watching the game. And then Truck says, "That fucking guy just called you a rat." And I said, "An hour ago, I heard him call you a chomo," which was a total lie. I just made it up. He didn't say a single word. He just stood up, walked over here, and beat this guy almost to death. They had to land a helicopter in the yard to life flight Cat in the Hat to Pittsburgh. They gave Truck 5 more years. And
Cat Scan in the Hat, huh?
Yeah, it's Cat Scan in the Hat. See, how come I didn't think of that?